Tuesday, the 21st of the month of April 2026. The time is 8:47. Yes, Yabashasi with the newspaper headlines. Now, we are now our health. Yes. When we say Tuesdays, be there. And there's some mention so. I don't even need to, but just for the sake of those who don't know, yes, it's a reminder. You know, we are now into the main segment of interviews. Yes. And now pay there. You say mutie on Baraka 98.7 FM, the station with the blessing. Mutie free ahujo and so on. Daily Graphic, Daily Graphic, and the first newspaper and now pay yedi Beshasi. Government boosts power supply capacity. 2,500 transformers being installed nationwide. We are Mampinix Excellency to the man Mahama. Now, the Minister of Energy, in fact, the spokesperson for the ministry would be giving you some of the incepts and chibia. Asantini Anes President Mahama, 2 former presidents with gold medal. Yes. Asantini, yes, he's capable of doing that. Daily guidance was CSOs criticized over natural resources destruction silence. Yeah. Professor Isaac Woody or front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Intimidation can't break MPP Baumia to government. And also no the former Attorney General. Yes, Godfred Dami, he spoke in the relation with the ECOSO FR arrest of some communicators of the opposition MPP. FR Nyama and Sefata. And Daily Guide front page headlines. The story is here. The Godfred Dami. Yes, Godfred Dami is a former Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana. Okay.
Baraka FM.
All right. Okay, let's continue. Nigerian grabbed for operating brothel. Hey, won't we get another chance to file witness statement? Daily Guide newspaper. The Ghanaian publisher say government raises chief's pay by 300%. Where the workers say, hooray! Yes. Allowance until today. Yes, for those of you who really aspire to go into the traditional India, it means there is something there. But unless you get to the top, Paramount chiefs and all those people, they are the only people I know who will receive it. But those who are in the local districts and then other places, and I don't think, unless you get to the House of Chiefs and Sana, maybe you might be considered. The Minister of Local Governments, yes. Mr. Ahmed Ibrahim, who spoke in relation to this particular issue of the government raises chiefs' pay by 300%. Yeah, info. They say the Mahama Ba
the minister, in collaboration with the Minister of Finance, increased the monthly allowances of paramount chiefs from 1,000 to 3,000. And as I said, for the last 8 years, our chiefs were stagnated in the allowance they were receiving. It was 1,000 in 2017, 1,000 in 2018, 1,000 in 2019, 1,000 in 2020, 1,000 in 2021, 1,000 in 2022, 1,000 in 2023, 1,000 in 2024. President Mama said no. Life must be progressive. In 2025, he increased it by 300% for the chiefs and increased it by 300% for the paramount.
Any minister of local governments, lands, local governments, and then chieftaincy issues. From 1,000 Ghana to 3,000 Ghana. Yes, this is what our paramount chiefs are receiving at the top. Yeah. Demorox Adamus, mining land minister, urged to act. Baumia to Mahama, stop harassing critics. And also, a court allowed Wuntubi to file witness statement. The Daybreak newspaper, I was saying, ADBMD lots JIPA over non-traditional export initiative. Okay. Book review by Body My Future. My Body My Future, empowering girls for choices. National security operatives ran amok. Beat ex-cop to pop. Hey, yes, some more. So story, a very terrible story. Anyway, Later on, we'll bring you those consents from the your friend is saying some quarters. The National Voice newspaper was saying price inflation rocks at table municipal assembly over borehole contracts. Hey, borehole contract Nediama Ebimwa. Ghana Society for Social Challenged warns public over encroachment and fraudulent sales of its land at Ogbojo. OSP cannot override constitution where Paul Chumberima fires. Daily Searchlight newspaper say, I will be back. I will be. General, so 50-50 votes. I shan't read na okay. Assassin media and the parties until women general hall. Bawumia reconciles with Kennedy at Japan to strengthen NPP unity ahead of 2028 polls. New political party, the Base Movement, outdoors ultra modern headquarters. Hey, the headquarters in the OBC there, and within the municipality there, most of your offices, because according to the EC, if you don't have those offices across the country, very difficult to operate as a political party, especially only the independent. I mean, say they are only in Accra, but other places in India you can't find them there. But this one there is really an ultra modern. Even picture. Mfonia, a friend saying daily search at area by the ultimate party in the 7 kojo and a PR mom. 78. Yeah, 78. Hey, this record, local government minister. Wow. All right, so I think I've already stated that. That has to do with the allowances for the paramount chiefs. Standogbe holds exporters as pillars of Ghana's economic stability. The National Enquirer newspaper, KGL delivers again. Pays 153 million to GRA, set the pace for corporate responsibility as critics fall silent. Supreme Court at 50, government reaffirms. I can see, yes, Oyelita. Hey, Oyelita. Hey, mami sign. Yes, a former minister of gender, I don't know. Yeah. All right, so the Spider newspaper was saying Muhammad delivers. Assembly members receive allowances nationwide. MIIF opens books to watchdogs. Invite CSOs to tighten oversight of Ghana's mineral wealth. Ghana digital backbone threatened as fire shortage knocks 157 MTN site off in. GLS draws legal battle lines. Afenyomakin giving ultimatum over threat to judiciary. Lawyers demand apology. Warn disciplinary action as tension rise over remarks targeting judges. A statement recently in a The Daily Banner newspaper said Ghana Democratic credentials under attack. We air former Vice President Bawumia. Rising tension as Nzima residents protest over Adamus Resources operations. Land Minister urged to intervene. Bawumia engages Ken at Japan. Old Tafo MP raised red flags over NPRA sales source contract. The Catalyst newspaper says resetting local governance. Mahama pours billions into districts as new performance regime takes hold. We Minister of Lands and Minister of Local Government. That is Honorable Ahmed. Yes, Ibrahim. Tabale Hospital Cardio Center project in steady progress. VIP engages Ghana diaspora in Spain. Mahama unveils vision for 24-hour markets. The Archives newspaper, wife slashed husband with razor blade. Yay! Terrible story. Hey, I know part 222. Hey, our reference and send media. Tensions in NPP. That's the Archive newspaper. I see tension in NPP, but the full. I think the story has been truncated. You can't have the full story. The Dispatch newspaper see NDC will split vote in NPP in Ashanti region in 2028 election. We Chairman General Sidun Ketia with the approval of President Mahama. 19 senior police officers promoted. honoring 51 year of legal excellence, Ghana's king of law and voice of justice, Mr. Chachuchi Kata, and a Kasa Samwe at the UPSA. The Observer newspaper was saying when opportunity comes, prioritize NDC youth. Okay, Minta edges appointees. Stephen Donko set to contest for NDC Deputy General Secretary. Mustafa Bande, one more chance there. Now, Mustafa Bande so Kasembi for the internal elections of NDC. He is a Deputy Communication Director. He deputized for your friend saying Fifi. Or say Debbie. Elections now so within the NDC in there. So be a steady. To the Nyama editor come. For those who are interested, you must listen, especially if you are serving in government there. And they share so we any the Mustafa Bande about the internal elections upcoming for the NDC.
Yes, it is good for people to want to run various positions in the party, but in accordance with the party's timelines, we must watch and read the calendar
Baraka
so that
FM.
within the season, if you are running for a branch election, then obviously you would be campaigning for that position within the context of the timetable that the party have put out. And so if you do anything contrary to that, then you get yourself in a position where the party would then have to take certain decisions to ensure that members conform with rules and procedures of the.
We are Honorable Mustafa Bande, Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, telling us what is really upcoming in terms of Nhyira Omaye for those who are really going to contest in the upcoming election internally for the NDC. Yes, Muma Nkoti, Godfred Dami, yes, former Attorney General, our Kasa with regards to what they term harassment of their people as communicators who were arrested because of one or two things. Maya and Fatawu. Muma Nkoti, the former Attorney General, Godfred Dami.
The unwarranted denial of privileged members of the MPP and frivolous prosecution of a few for the expression of views on matters of public interest cast a slur on the integrity and independence of the judiciary. The most absurd effort to suppress free expression was witnessed in the baseless arrest, prosecution, and denial of bail to some members of the MPP recently for expression of their views on the LGBTQ matter through the circulation of materials in the form of caricature of some members of the John Muhammad.
Yes, we any former Attorney General of Ghana, that is Honorable Godfred Dami. Maritime Authority launch life jacket banks to curb boat accident. The Republic newspaper, no. The Daily Post newspaper was government invests nearly 50 billion cedis in road reconstruction. We His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The BNFT newspaper also CSOs call for reform to strengthen MIIF. Oyster agribusiness deepens rural push for with former awards and new growth plans. BOG target diaspora billions for bonds, SMEs, and infrastructure. BNFT newspaper, yes, GS announces salary arrears payment for staff. Hey, GS. Na GS in some say school feeding is some so as about you more. Say the second cycle institutions, assemble ho and assemble ba. Na sembenya you see the issue of school feeding. But I don't know so no. Mobile Kotie, there was spokesperson who spoke with regards to the school feeding this time round. All my assurance say, there be government has intervened and everything is going properly. Into the moment, Kotie, Charles, yes, General Secretary of Charles in the first place before we go to the GES. Yeah, okay.
Father Stephen, that it has some information that some monies we pay to school. Whatever quantum is coming to the schools should be something substantial, because, like we indicated, we've credited a lot of things in a few weeks that we're trying to manage the system. And what it means is that if the monies that are coming to school are not in large quantities, then what it means is that we are just going to go into our accounts and pass through the other door, out. We've had the assurance from our bosses that the money is taken in our accounts. I think we should be able to manage the situation. We just pray. Again, we pray that this money is
Yo, let's see, we are praying. They are praying. The spokesperson of GES, yes, Daniel Finney. And Kasamafo, Emma, this particular issue, or Kasa in regards to the school feeding, or my response and the assurance that is upcoming.
Both have been released. In fact, I have the receipt with me right now.
Baraka FM.
In fact, I expect that by close of day tomorrow, it should hit the account, or latest by close of a week, certain with the Ghana Education Service as we talk. I can assure you that schools will not close down because of this. We will not reach the level where they would have to go home because they don't have the perishables, especially in situations where the non-perishables are readily available. They have their rice, their maize.
Yes, they have their rice, they have their meat.
Baraka FM.
No conversation with bar, and they are some at all. So that's the clarification from the GES. Yes, so the last newspaper, and Yedi Bremo, because BOG classifies digital earnings content creators as service exports. Mahama cut sold for 24-hour market in Bimbila. Madina for Manya Mudie. He said the Bimbila na Ediako. Resetting Ghana to any the newspaper, your friend the business analyst Eddie Tuja. Government projects 5 billion Ghana cedi into district assembly. Reset local governance after years of district assembly common fund irregularities. We Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, Minister of Local Government and Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, and this assembly to J for the newspaper headlines Eddie Bremono Yedi Besi, because there were some reps from the home government hospital Amoba Nenomo at the Town. So we're going for a short break. When we return, then we go into our main interview sections. All right. Okay.
Baraka FM.